Let's get right into it. Number 10, the oxygen myth. You're sitting there, maybe a bit groggy from last night's questionable life choices, and boom, a yawn erupts. Your jaw unhinges, your lungs expand, and you let out this guttural, satisfying groan. What's the first thing your brain whispers? Ah, a sign of low oxygen. Better get some fresh air in here, Prano. It's a classic thought, a real OG in the world of bodily functions. You've heard it, I've heard it, your grandma's probably knitted it onto a cozy. But here's the kicker. This deeply ingrained belief, this scientific urban legend, is about as true as Bigfoot doing your taxes. For years, we happily went along with the idea that our bodies were just desperate air pumps, gasping for a bit of extra O2. Scientists, bless their ever questioning hearts, have poked, prodded, and scanned enough brains to confidently tell us that this oxygen deficiency theory is, well, total bunk. So, next time you feel that cavernous chasm open up, remember, you're not suffocating. You're just, well, we'll get to that. Number 9, the boredom barometer. Ever been stuck in a meeting listening to someone drone on about TPS reports and suddenly your face muscles betray you? A colossal yawn escapes, seemingly announcing to the entire room that your brain has officially checked out and is now on a beach vacation in Fiji. We've all been there. We associate yawning with boredom like peanut butter with jelly. Your brain apparently thinks a good wide mouth gape is the universal signal for, I'd rather be watching paint dry. But here's the twist. While boredom can certainly trigger a yawn, it's not the primary purpose. It's more of a side effect, like that weird twitch your eye gets when you're utterly exasperated. Think of it as your internal boredom barometer, loudly clanking the signal that your neural pathways have officially entered snooze mode, even if the real reason for the yawn is something entirely different bubbling beneath the surface. Basically, your brain uses yawning as its own personal mic drop for monotonous situations. Number 8, the brain's AC unit. So, if it's not oxygen and it's not just boredom, what's the big deal with the big mouth? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because your brain is basically a supercomputer that gets a little toasty under pressure. And like any good computer, it needs a cooling system. Enter the yawn, your brain's very own, incredibly sophisticated organic air conditioner. When you let out that glorious gape, you're not just stretching your jaw, you're taking in a massive gulp of cooler air. This sudden influx of fresh, ambient air helps to cool the blood vessels in your face and neck. Think of it like a quick internal brain shower. This slightly cooled blood then cycles up to your brain, lowering its overall temperature just a smidge. Why does your brain need cooling? Because a slightly overheated brain is a sluggish brain, prone to fatigue and, ironically, even more yawning. So, your body isn't just stretching, it's performing a vital involuntary cranial climate control. Pretty cool, right? Literally. Number 7, the wake up call. For your brain, not you. You've probably noticed you yawn a lot when you're tired, right? Like the kind of tired where your eyelids feel like they're filled with lead and your thoughts are moving through molasses. But here's the mind bender. Yawning isn't just a symptom of sleepiness. It can also be a desperate attempt by your brain to wake itself up. When your brain starts to slow down, its temperature can subtly increase. That's where our old friend the yawn comes in. By bringing in that cooler air and increasing blood flow, it gives your brain a mini jolt, like splashing cold water on your face, but from the inside. It's your brain's sneaky little trick to stay alert when it's veering dangerously close to nap time. So, the next time you're battling a midday slump and a monster yawn escapes, don't just curse your fatigue. Appreciate your brain trying to give itself a tiny internal espresso shot to keep you from face planting into your keyboard. Number 6, the empathy epidemic. You're scrolling through social media, minding your own business, when suddenly you see a video of someone letting out a giant, jaw-cracking yawn. And before you can even register it, bam! You're doing it too. What sorcery is this? Are yawns contagious like a bad case of the giggles? Absolutely. And it's not just some random quirk. It's tied into something a bit deeper and more fascinating about your squishy, empathic brain. Contagious yawning is widely believed to be a form of emotional contagion or empathy. Basically, your brain is so good at mirroring the feelings and states of others that it physically mimics their actions, even something as involuntary as a yawn. It's like your neural circuits are saying, "Oh, you're tired? Yes, bored? Need a brain cool down? Me too, pal." It's why you're more likely to yawn after seeing someone you know or care about yawn rather than a total stranger. Your social bonds are literally stretching your mouth open. So the next time you catch a yawn, congratulate yourself. You're officially a highly tuned empathy machine. Number 4, the brain's thermostat calibration. Imagine your brain like a high performance sports car engine. It runs best at a very specific temperature. Too hot and things get sluggish. Too cold and it's just not firing on all cylinders. That's where yawning steps in as your body's incredibly precise, self regulating thermostat. When your brain detects even a slight uptick in its core temperature, which often happens when you're tired, bored, or even just stuck in a stuffy room, it triggers that involuntary gape. The deep inhale pulls in the cooler outside air, which then bathes your blood vessels in the face and neck. This slightly chilled blood then makes a beeline for your brain, acting like a tiny internal fan to bring the temperature back down to optimal levels. It's a subtle recalibration, like hitting the reset button on your internal AC unit, ensuring your gray matter stays in prime operating condition. So, next time you're about to nod off in a lecture, remember, your brain isn't just bored, it's having a tiny, involuntary hot flash. Number 4, the brain's thermostat calibration. Imagine your brain like a high performance sports car engine. It runs best at a very specific temperature. Too hot and things get sluggish. Too cold and it's just not firing on all cylinders. That's where yawning steps in as your body's incredibly precise, self regulating thermostat. When your brain detects even a slight uptick in its core temperature, which often happens when you're tired, bored, or even just stuck in a stuffy room, it triggers that involuntary gape. The deep inhale pulls in cooler outside air, which then bathes your blood vessels in the face and neck. This slightly chilled blood then makes a beeline for your brain, acting like a tiny internal fan to bring the temperature back down to optimal levels. It's a subtle recalibration, like hitting the reset button on your internal AC unit, ensuring your gray matter stays in prime operating condition. So, next time you're about to nod off in a lecture, remember, your brain isn't just bored, it's having a tiny, involuntary hot flash. Number 2, the performance enhancer. You might think yawning is just for lazy bones, but your body actually whips out this trick when it needs to perform. Think about Olympic athletes before a big race, surgeons before a delicate operation, or even public speakers moments before stepping onto a stage. You often see them, you guessed it, yawning, and no, it's not because they suddenly decided they'd rather be in bed. It's because yawning, with its brain cooling and blood flow boosting magic, is essentially priming your cognitive engine for optimal performance. It's like your internal pregame ritual, getting your neurons firing on all cylinders, sharpening your focus, and increasing your overall alertness. Your brain is literally clearing out the cobwebs, recalibrating its internal systems, and getting itself into peak condition for whatever demanding task lies ahead. So, the next time you yawn before an important moment, don't feel ashamed. Just tell everyone you're merely optimizing your cerebral functions. Number 1, the social signal. You never knew you were sending beyond all the physiological jazz. Yawning carries a surprisingly complex social weight. Remember that contagious yawn we talked about? It's not just a sign of empathy, it's a nonverbal cue that binds us. Imagine a group of early humans all starting to yawn. It could have been a silent, collective signal. Okay, we're all getting sleepy. Time to find a safe spot to hunker down. Or, we're all feeling a bit sluggish. Maybe we should take a break. This shared physiological experience fosters group cohesion and synchronizes behavior. It's a primeval form of unspoken communication, helping to regulate the group's energy levels and awareness. Your yawn isn't just about your brain temperature, it's about connecting with the tribe, subconsciously aligning with the rhythms of those around you. So, when you let out a big one, you're not just releasing a little bit of internal heat, you're potentially initiating a tiny, ancient social ripple. Basically, your nervous system is throwing a subtle, highly synchronized party in your honor. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them